example, some of the industries that we're looking at are like car rental, retail, lodging, travel, transport, restaurant, supermarket, petrol. So across those kinds of industries, do any of those stand out, do you think, in terms of capturing more inbound debit spend?
I would say every business that is somehow related to tourism, like as you mentioned, car rentals, definitely hotels, lodging, like restaurants, retail, supermarkets, supermarkets, like the big retailers like Target, Vons, Walmart. I would say those are the ones that do have a higher percentage of inbound debit.
And do you think that any of those industries that you just mentioned might be growing their volume of inbound debit in relation to others?
Probably the restaurants, definitely car rentals, hotels.
And why do you think that they might be growing faster with inbound debit?
I would say because of depends on the location, but overall they tend to attract a higher amount of inbound debit, so international clients. Just because of my experience with those type of businesses, they are the ones that do have always the highest amounts of inbound debit.
And again, it purely kind of follows the kind of footfall of tourists. So it's kind of where you kind of, from a common sense perspective, expect to have more tourists or more travellers at these kinds of retailers or merchants, that it kind of follows naturally that there's more inbound debit spend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Fantastic. All right then. So let me just see. Is there anything on the inbound debit? So one thing I was going to ask as well, in terms of specific countries, do you think that there are any kind of countries where foreign issued debit cards are issued that are kind of most prevalent in terms of their share of inbound debit spend?
Great question. I mean, you want a specific like countries?
Yeah, like if there's any specific country that you think there's a high proportion of these like nationality of traveller that are in the US using their debit cards.
That's a great question. I've noticed there's a larger amount of Chinese, or like, I mean, just in a lot of international all over the world, but from Asia, definitely Chinese is a prominent